SBI Bank's executive role is being investigated and examined by authorities. There is an expectation that at some point of time, more banks could be involved and brought under the investigative process. Does that worry you, sir? And do you think that that is something that there needs to be a proper roadmap in place going forward, given the fact that banks' role is also being investigated through minute by the authorities?
So I'll certainly defer most of this question to the Finance Minister. But I think we have a well-defined process for defining willful defaulters, and essentially, broadly speaking, it may be maneuvers which, strictly speaking, are not illegal, but which divert funds away from the project and elsewhere. Now, some of these actions may also be illegal, so it's not strictly everything is professionally legal. Now, we have a process by which people are declared willful defaulters. We maintain a registry of willful defaulters, and we've strengthened the penalties if you're a willful defaulter on your ability to raise money from the system. So, I think that process is there. I think one of the problems in the past has been the difficulty of enacting the full process, given the necessity for following certain aspects that the judiciary focused on. Going forward, I hope the process is streamlined, so entities that do, that are following aberrant practices, that they're convinced that they don't pay, and we get a better system. So my hope is that some of the attention that has been paid to some of these actions will help streamline the system. We have to be careful as we go forward that on the one hand we penalize criminal actions, and that it's not the regulator but the investigative agencies and the judiciary which will have to take that up. But at the same time we don't indulge in a broad fishing expedition, which then becomes a reason for banks to get worried about making loans, which then will hamper the recovery as well as hamper the absolutely important investments in infrastructure that have to take place. So as a country, as a system, we have to draw that balance very carefully, and we're hopeful that we can manage that.
See, you must bear two facts in mind. The first is that NPAs which are created on account of the overall economic environment and a slowdown in certain sectors. Now, as the revival of those sectors takes place, you will certainly find the cleaning up of the balance sheet which also takes place, because over the next few quarters then they would probably have a possibility of reviving. There is a second category which is on account of some individual misdemeanors. Now it's the second category which will have to be treated differently from in the entire investigative setup. And as was just pointed out, we don't want to create a situation where we overstate the crisis, and in the process the whole activity of lending for growth itself starts suffering, because people become extraordinarily defensive. We don't want to reach that situation. So it's that limited category of where there is some kind of a prima facie misconduct or misdemeanor which has taken place by any individual. It's those areas which will be really looked into differently. The ones which are caused on account of the overall slowdown in the economy which took place in the last few years, I think there the possibility of revival as the economy picks up once again would certainly be there.
Find us on Facebook at facebook.com/etnow, and don't forget to click the like button. You can also follow us on Twitter at etnowlive. To stay updated with all our programming, hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel by logging on to youtube.com/user/etnow.